A pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network for your BSN Connect Sports Funding and Dingers Training Center Baseball Game of the Week. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski, and tonight we got a good one here for you. Rankings have come out today in the FHSAA. We'll talk about that, and two of our higher-ranked teams in the county doing battle. The home team tonight, the 13 and 5 Eau Gallie Commodores. They, as I said, they come in at 13 and 5. They are in the top 100 in the state of Florida. They are ranked 10th in 5A, second in their region, second in Region 3. The Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers come in. Actually, they're ranked 10th in 5A, second in Region 3. Melbourne Central Catholic, one loss on the year. They are 16-1-1. They come in 53rd in the state of Florida. They are ranked 9th in 3A, and they are number 1 in Region 3. So it's going to be a good one here today, and we're going to go through the lineups here coming up in just a second. But I want to take a minute to talk about the managers, because it's not often that you get over 1,000 combined wins on the baseball diamond, and that's exactly what you have here tonight. 33-year skipper Tom Dooley and 20-plus year manager Bobby Collins. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Leading off for the Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers is going to be it's going to be Patrick Corley. Corley was our Brevard Sports Network Player of the Game the last time he played. So Corley, a 5'11 senior, he will not be on the bump tonight. And the pitcher for Eau Gallie is going to be Drew Buxton. And Buxton cranks and fires right down Wickham Road for strike one. Buxton this season, 4-1 with a 3.77 ERA. We'll take you around the Commodore field here in just a minute. And swinging over to second baseman Kyle Grusner, up and over to first base for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up number 99, Alexander Westfield. The Eau Gallie Commodores starting, of course, at pitching. We told you it was Drew Buxton. Behind the dish tonight is Riley Jackson. Over at first base tonight is Garrett Smith. At second is Kyle Grusner. Over at third base is Brandon Bragg. Joelvis Tejada is your shortstop. Riley Jackson is Buxton's battery mate behind the dish. And from left to right, I think it's right this time, Hunter Leach, Diamez Ross, and Christian Neal. Not tonight. We got Rockledge softball Thursday, Kendall, in the Cape Coast Conference Championship. Westfield steps in. Buxton 2-0, and he quickly moves to 2-1. $16, 1-1, and the song remains the same for Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers, the last team in Brevard County to win a state championship, and that ball is lined softly into right field for the second out of the inning as Christian Neal hauls it in. 2 up, 2 down here for Buxton, and we were here for his last one, and his last one was a gem against the Rockledge Raiders a week ago Friday, in which he pitched a complete game, and that'll bring up one of the best catchers in the county, Bryant Esperanto. The first pitch offering for Buxton is low for a ball. On deck hitter is going to be Clausen. He's batting for the pitcher tonight, McKella. Buxton, the 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. According to the most recent stats that Eau Gallie has, Esperanto, he is updated through 11 games, a 351 hitter. They played 18, so welcome in Scott Hagan watching here on Brevard Sports Network. I thought I just walked past Scotty. And that'll be high for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tonight we're going to try to keep the music out of the background here so that we don't get cut off. We'll see what happens. The 2-1 to Esperanto. Right at the knees, and we're even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in top of the first inning. Buxton looking for his first strikeout. Clausen would be next. The 2-2. And there is a grounder over to Tejada, who uncharacteristically bobbles it. And Esperanto will reach on an E6. And there is life for MCC as Stephen Clausen steps in. Clausen this year through 8 games on the updated rosters is 280 hitter. So we got a pinch runner at first. I apologize. I did not catch who it was that came in. Clausen, a lefty, facing Buxton, a righty. Buxton fires, and this ball is lofted into left field, and Leach is there. 1 pitch, 3rd out. So no runs, no hits, 1 errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the first, and no score between the Commodores, who are coming to bat, and Melbourne Central Catholic. All right, we told you that the rankings came out today. Let's first go over Class 5A. Let me make sure I got the right ones here in my hand. Yep. American Heritage Plantation is the #1 overall ranked team. By the way, the highest ranked Brevard County team in the FHSAA newly released rankings today is Melbourne at number 21. So you go through the 5A rankings. Actually, American Heritage Plantation is #4. That is the highest ranked team. I got it backwards in terms of regions. My apologies there. So Lake Minneola is the highest ranked team in Region 3, which is the region that Eau Gallie and Rockledge is in. Eau Gallie is the #2 ranked team in Region 3. Cypress Creek 3. Rockledge is 4. So those are the 2 teams there. Let's see here, go down the list. Bayside comes in there as well. Then when you get over to 3A and the Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers and where they are ranked, they are, as I said, number 53 in the state of Florida. And in their classification, again, they are in Region 3 as well. They are the #1 ranked team in Region 3, which is impressive. Actually, check that. The First Academy is #1. MCC is #2. Cardinal Newman #3, and King's Academy is #4. So, Tom Dooley looking for that 3rd state championship, 2nd since 2019. Tough competition there in 3A to get it done. You know, the private schools down south and what they're capable of as Diamez Ross steps in. Here, Diamez is usually a first strike hitter. So if McKella throws him a strike, the lefty, to Ross, he'll be swinging, and he does, but he catches the outside corner, not to Ross's liking. Senior night here at Eau Gallie. The pitch, that'll be strike 2. From the senior. Struck him out on 3 pitches. That, for Diamez Ross, is just something you just don't see very often, especially on 3 pitches. In fact, I'd argue that's the first time all year he struck out on 3 straight, and maybe the first time in his high school career he's done that. As Kyle Grusner steps in. Grusner, a 385 hitter, and he looks at ball 1. In fact, Ross that was only his third strikeout of the year. Third time he'd struck out all year. I know it's the first time on 3 straight pitches. And there's a grounder to the second baseman, up and over to first. And that is out number 2 here. That is an outstanding play by Westfield. We'll take you around the infield here for MCC as Riley Jackson, the power-hitted FSU verbally committed catcher, steps in, batting .350. He's got 4 home runs, 6 doubles, and 18 RBIs this year. That is a little off the plate for ball 1. McKellar, a 1.40 ERA this year, according to the stat sheet, 2-0. This is his 4th appearance according to the stat sheet. In the 15 innings the stat sheet is updated for, he'd given up 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned. And that'll be strike 1 to Riley. 2-1 to Jackson. Brandon Bragg would be next if Jackson can reach, and sound like McKellar labored a little on that one when he let it go. I hope he's okay there. It is low for a ball, so it's 3-1 to Riley. No score here, bottom 1. And Jackson with a little nubbler to the second baseman, up and over to first. And that's 2 straight from Alexander Westfield there over to Esposito. And that'll end the inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, as McKellar sets them down in order. And we go to the top of the second inning. Due up will be Varvero, Tellez, and Simcox for MCC. So we're coming down to the nitty-gritty on the baseball and softball seasons. Coming up Thursday night on the Brevard Sports Network, you'll see the Cape Coast Conference Baseball Championship between the Melbourne Bulldogs and the Merritt Island Mustangs. And you'll see the Cape Coast Conference Softball Championship as well. And that'll take place between Melbourne and Rockledge. So North and South doing battle here on Thursday night. You'll also, see the middle school basketball boys and girls championship games here. Stone Magnet School, the boys and the girls are going to play in that. The boys Stone team will play Kennedy Middle School for the championship, the first time since 2005 that Kennedy Middle has made it, the Panthers. And the girls will face Ronald McNair Magnet School Challengers on Thursday night. All of that and a lot more coming up on Brevard Sports Network. Tomorrow night, it's lacrosse here on BSN as Holy Trinity takes on Bishop Moore. We'll update you on all of the lacrosse and tennis scores taking place tonight. I know Satellites boys and girls tennis teams and Merritt Island's tennis team played today, as did coming up in about 45 minutes. The Satellite girls lacrosse team will be playing in the state series. So all of that, it is a lot going on this time of the year, and we try to keep you updated here on BSN. All right, we get set for Varvaro steps in. Vincent Varvaro. Top 2, no score here from Commodore Field. Buxton to Varvaro. And Varvaro in the last game that we did, a big win over Space Coast, was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a 10-run victory in that one. Buxton 1-0 to Varvaro. It's a cool name to say. Shows bunt, pulls it back, 2-0. The stats on the sheet for Melbourne Central Catholic on Varvaro have him as a .333 hitter. Pitch. Nice little bunt down the first base side. Neat. Nice play by Garrett Smith to dive. 3 unassisted, and that's a great play on a bunt. That was a tricky bunt, and Garrett Smith did what he could do to get the out, and that'll bring up Nicholas Tellez. Tellez steps in. He's a .231 hitter on this sheet, I would imagine. If Coach Dooley has him in the middle of the line up here, he's probably batting a little better than that Max Prep stat has. The pitch from Buxton swung on by Tellez and missed 0-1, and Buxton is ahead. And that's what was key for him in that victory over the Rockledge Raiders that we did in that complete game. He was almost perfect. Chopper to Bragg, up and over to Smith, 2 outs. So if you're scoring at home, that's 5-3. But he was perfect, just about perfect on first pitch strikes, and that's just so key for a high school pitcher to get that first pitch strike. As Simcox steps in. Caden Simcox. This year, Simcox was batting .212. I'm sure he's pulled that up. According to the statistics, Melbourne Central Catholic, through I think 11 games, was batting .267. The pitch, and that's fouled back to the screen for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike here. MCC has come in scoring 160 runs this year. They've only allowed 46. Eau Gallie 182 to 73, and again fouled back to the screen. 1-2 now with 2 outs. So that, we talked about in the Rockledge game that, we're not knocking the student athletes, but we felt like as a team this year, the Achilles heel for Eau Gallie's been the pitching. They couldn't find it consistently, and Buxton just reached down in the bag there against Rockledge a couple of weeks ago and got that. Oh, that's a nice looking changeup that Simcox fights off, and the count remains 1-2. But that game from Buxton really boosted this pitching staff, and of course, MCC's just got great pitching with Corley, and you're seeing it tonight so far in that first inning with McKella. Buxton 1-2, 2 outs here. Fouled back, and Jackson taps his mitt as if he should have had it. That would have been a tough one there. Due up for Eau Gallie is Bragg Smith and Tejada. On deck is Esposito, should Simcox reach. Buxton from the hip, the 1-2 to Simcox. Strike 3, and Buxton picks up his second K of the day. Check that, his first. And that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Obviously, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the second inning, and there is no score between the Commodores and the Hustlers here. And, of course, want to talk about the Melbourne Central Catholic Hustler skipper, Tom Doley. 33 years Coach Doley has been at it. 600 and I think 19 wins. Didn't have an opportunity to add up this year's wins, but he hit the 600 win plateau last season. And you take Bobby Collins, who's hit 400, and you got 2 guys here with over 1,000 high school victories and nearly 60 years of high school coaching experience. So that's why you have 2 teams that are in here at 29, 6-1, and combined. Of course, Brevard County as a whole, 7 programs have won 5 baseball state championships. Melbourne Central Catholic, one of the programs that's won a couple of them. They won it in 2013 and turned around right again in 2019 and pulled the trick. Eau Gallie uh, has reached, actually, that's the softball team. So Brandon Bragg steps in. Bragg, the power hitting third baseman, batting .479 this year. He leads the Commodores with 5 home runs, and that wind is pretty tricky today. It is blowing, and that ball is lifted deep into the gap, off the wall, around first, and on his way to second. Head first slide is Bragg, and he leads off with a double. He got all of that one, did the senior. And Garrett Smith steps in, and that's the luxury for Bobby Collins this year. You got power hitters all over the field. Smith, to have them at the corners is a gift if you're a manager, and Smith is definitely that, a 273 hitter. He's got 4 dingers this year. And McKellar's first pitch to Smith is outside for a ball, so a nice piece of hitting by Brandon Bragg to gap that one for a leadoff double. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Favors the left-hander, always does, but he misses, and the count is 2-0. So a hitter's count now for Garrett Smith with Joelvis Tejada on deck, followed by Christian Neal in the hole. 2-0. The lead for Bragg is minimal at second. You saw the speed. I'll leave it at that. Off the outside corner. And he's 3-0 with first base open. May not be a bad proposition here to perhaps put him on and maybe get a force at third or set up a double play situation. Pitch. And that one right down the middle of the plate. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike, and Smith is set. Esperanto, the signal down. The pitch. Strike 2, and he's bounced back to bring the count full. 3-2. Nice job there by Tyler McKellar. McKellar kicks the dirt, plants the left foot on the rubber. Smith set in the box, right foot pointed in. McKellar rocks, kicks, fires, takes a little off. Just missed with that one, and that is a full count walk. So with a base on balls, that'll bring up Joelvis Tejada. Joelvis this year a .417 hitter. Joelvis has got 5 doubles and 13 RBIs, and there certainly is an opportunity out there for Joelvis here. He is a senior. Again, senior night here at Eau Gallie. See what McKellar does here, how he starts Tejada off. Runners at first and second. I wouldn't say it's the speediest part of the lineup on the bags right now, but these guys can get around the bases. They're smart. They're smart base runners. The pitch inside for a ball. So in the last 6 pitches, McKellar's delivered 7 pitches. He's delivered 5 balls. Two on, none out. Here in the bottom of the second inning, the Commodores, who score a lot of runs, threatening to do so here in Tejada, down the first base line, and that'll go foul, and the count is now at a ball and a strike. In fact, Eau Gallie this year, 182 runs. That's 22 more than Melbourne Central Catholic in the same amount of games played. But as I said, they've given up 73 to Melbourne Central Catholic's 46, which is 35 more than Tejada with a nice bunt, and they'll go to second, and they'll get the force in second, and they may. And Bragg gets back, so Tejada sacrifices, well, bunts his way on a fielder's choice, so he'll get a fielder's choice down to first. Nice play by McKellar to go 1-6, and Bragg will move the third. So, in all, Eau Gallie not making out too bad here on the fielder's choice by Tejada, as he's at first and third now with one out, and Christian Neal up. And I tell you, the big thing against Rockledge in the last game that we did was the bottom part of the order for Bobby Collins. They really came through in a big-time way, producing 2 of the 3 RBIs in that one. As Christian Neal steps in, he's a .381 hitter. So Neal more than capable of driving in a run here. The pitch from McKellar, and he loops this one down the left field line. It's trouble. It falls. Bragg will score. Stopping at second is Tejada. And Christian Neal doing just as he did the last time we were here with a single and an RBI as Bragg touches the plate. And the Commodores now have first and second with one out. Nice job by Neal to go the other way. And for Neal, that is his 13th RBI of the year. Stepping up now is Daniel Snowden. Snowden, not a lot of playing time this year, so he's starting to get it now. That'll catch the outside corner for strike one. 0-1 to Daniel. He is a sophomore. So if you can play, Coach Collins will play you. That'll be strike 2 on the outside corner. I'd like to welcome the legendary Barbara Kaywood watching. Hello, Miss Kaywood. Probably 2 of your favorites here managing today, and Tom Dooley and Bobby Collins. Over 1,000 managerial wins between them. I'm sure you've seen them manage a game or two. McKellar's pitch, and nice block by Esper Saranto. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here. Or 1 out, I'm sorry. 1 out and 1 in here in the bottom of the second inning. The inning began with a Brandon Bragg double in the right center field gap. He eventually scored, and a nice job by Snowden to fight that off. Hunter Leach is on deck. A ball and 2 strikes to Snowden. Bragg doubled. Smith then went 1-6. Tejada bunted. 1 out, Smith. And there's a shot to the shortstop who bobbles it. And Joelvis Tejada will stop. And that's going to be, as it was for Tejada, that's an E6. And Joelvis will stop in third. And now bases are loaded. Hunter Leach steps in. So Neal is at second, Tejada at third. And the batter is Hunter Leach. That'll be a strike 1. Leach, a .250 hitter. He's got 1 RBI this season. This is just his 5th at-bat this year, according to Max Preps anyway. 0-1. Swung on and missed. This is a lefty-lefty matchup, and that is 0-2 now to Leach. With bases loaded, MCC still not out of the woods here because Diamez Ross, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time up, is on deck. The pitch, and that's going to be strike 3, and he's going to tag him as Ross steps in. All right, so Diamez Ross, we didn't even get a chance to give you his. He's a .545 hitter, probably down around .541 now. 2 triples, 8 doubles, 7 RBIs, 30 hits, 36 runs he scored this season. He is an FSU commit. He will be attending Florida State to play baseball. And it would be some kind of a magic trick. And Ross up the middle for a base hit. One run is in. Neal rounds third. Here comes the throw cut off by the pitcher. And Diamez Ross, who loves that first pitch, takes it there and singles in 2 runs. And the Commodores lead it 3-0. As Tejada and Neal score. Stopping at second base is Snowden. And that'll bring up Kyle Grusner, who grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. And there's a slow roller to the third baseman, up and over to first. Nice stretch. And that'll end the inning. So a 5-3 there for Grusner. But the Commodores send 8 batters to the plate. They score 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left. We head to the top of the third inning, 3-0 Eau Gallie, as MCC will send up here in the top of the third will be Esposito, Hester, and then back to the top of the order in Patrick Corley. So the Hustlers got their work cut out for them, trailing 3-0 in the third. Buxton seems to be on his game tonight here. And looking at MCC's schedule here the rest of the way, 7-0-1 at home, 6-1 away. So after this, they will play Palm Bay. They'll be at Melbourne on the 25th. They'll host Bayside, and then they'll close out the regular season against the Holy Trinity Tigers on April the 28th. So that is what is remaining for the Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers. For the Eau Gallie Commodores, I'm fairly confident I had printed out their schedule, but when I come across it, I'll read it. I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight. As always, Dinger's Training Center. Had an opportunity to stop by Dinger's today and met a couple of prospects, major league prospects up there today, who were a guy from the Tigers organization. And it was up there I talked to UC Solis and got a big special feature coming up on Dinger's. So stepping in is going to be Joshua Whistler Esposito, and he's a 200 hitter. 3-0 Eau Gallie on top here. The pitch, and there's a chopper up the middle. Grusner backhands it, stops, throws over to first. What a play by Kyle. What a play by Kyle Grusner. And that'll be 1 out here. Kyle Grusner. Da-da-da, da-da-da. And that'll send up the number 9 hitter. And Austin Hester, the freshman outfielder. Hester, a 259 hitter this year. I'd like to welcome in Big Mike Moffitt watching here on Brevard Sports Network. Pitch, and that's a strike from Buxton. Mike, I've been just talking about the fact that we got 2 managers here, Mike, with over 1,000 career high school wins right here in Brevard County and 2 state championships. And Tom Dooley, I know you've had some dealings with both of these guys, and there is a high chopper over to Tejada, and nice scoop by Garrett Smith as Tejada with a play. But the play there by Garrett Smith on the stretch. And right now, Buxton and his infielders flashing the leather here. Great play by Tejada. And we're back to the top of the order. And Patrick Corley. Corley grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Buxton rocks and fires. And that ball is fouled off and out of play. Always want to thank Todd O's, the athletic director, and of course manager Bobby Collins. I get here, tables, chairs are set up with me. What more could you ask for? And believe me when I tell you, I needed it today. 0-1 with 2 outs here. Buxton to Corley. Corley swings over the top of that for strike two. So Buxton is one pitch away from throwing a 9 or an 8 pitch third inning. Got to make him work, I would suppose. Here's the pitch. And Corley stays alive as the count stays 0-2. Buxton fires, and there's a soft liner foul down the first baseline. So Buxton battles and stays alive. I always use the expression he BGs it by staying alive, and happened to be working last night, sitting on the back porch watching TV, and lo and behold, Saturday Night Fever came on. I couldn't believe it, and I watched it. The pitch, high and outside for a ball. 1-2 now with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Moving right along we are. Now that I've jinxed it. Buxton's 1-2. Popped up. Grusner says, mine, mine, mine. The wind plays a little bit of havoc, and he hauls it in for the second or third out of the inning, and that'll end it. No runs, no hits, no errors. The second consecutive inning. Buxton has set them down in order. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-0. Eau Gallie. Due up here is going to be Grusner. It's going to be Riley Jackson, Brandon Bragg, and Garrett Smith, as Eau Gallie sent 8 batters to the plate in the bottom of the second inning, scoring 3 runs there. And we'll give you a look into the Commodore dugout. Let's give a quick shout out to the seniors here tonight, because it is senior night. Kyle Grusner wins the longest thank you of the night. I think Kyle thanked everybody, which I love the way these seniors. Some of them put a lot of thought into it, and Kyle certainly did his. That's for sure. And it's nice to hear that, because sometimes these kids take a beating for, not being this, that, or the other in today's generation. You know how it is. You see it on social media. But when you listen to their senior night thank yous and what they write about their coaches and their parents, and you just know it's not true. So to go down the line on the seniors, we'll start in numerical order. Brandon Bragg, senior. Diamez Ross, Joelvis Tejada, Hunter Leach, Kyle Grusner, and Parker Havel. The seniors honored here tonight as Riley Jackson steps in. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. And the Commodores lead 3-0 here. They scored runs about every way you could, except for a homer in that last inning. Fielder's choice, an error, good base running, base hits. The pitch high for ball 1 from McKella. 1-0. Riley Jackson. We talked about Diamez Ross being a actual commit. Riley, I think he committed to Florida State as soon as he was born. But that's the only place he's ever wanted to go, and that's where he intends to go. He is part of a catching crop in Brevard County this year that is just out of this world. 2 of them, 2 really good ones here again tonight. Esper Sorrento behind the plate. Jackson, the list goes on and on and on as you go down the line. Catchers in Brevard County this year. Everybody seems to have one, and a good one. course, everybody's got one, Alan. McKellen now 1-2 to Jackson. The pitch high and outside, and we're even up at 2-2. McKellen gets the signal from Esperanto, and Jackson will line that one right to the shortstop. Simply a case of good contact, wrong spot. But if you're MCC, right spot, right time, as that'll be the first out. And the man that started it off last inning for Eau Gallie, Brandon Bragg, who doubled to the gap his first time up. First pitch swinging was Brandon. See if he does it again here. Coming up tonight, we'll tell you what's coming up. I got a really good interview coming up tonight. Swung on. He didn't get that one and missed as McKellen took something off of that one. Remember the name Romeo Crouch from Titusville? Great basketball player a couple of years ago. Graduated in, I think, 2017, 2019. Pitch, high and outside, 1-1. Anyway, Romeo has finished his basketball career at Embry-Riddle. He graduates coming up the first week of May. He is entering the NBA draft. He is an NBA draft prospect. And he had quite a storied career at Embry-Riddle as Bragg lays off of that one. And it hit him. He said it hit him. I thought it hit him. No? Okay, I thought the umpire was pointing to first base, but it's 2-1. Eau Gallie on top, 3-0 here. And Bragg again with a hard shot. This one back through the middle. And he's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. And that'll bring up Garrett Smith. Smith his last time up. Walked. So he's officially 0 for 0. Bragg tearing the cover off the ball tonight. Nothing cheap about his 2 hits. McKellar eyes Bragg. That'll be a strike down Commodore Boulevard. 0-1 to Garrett. The on-deck hitter is Joe Elvis Tejada. Welcome in Ricky Blackman watching, my man. That ball bounces in the dirt. And Esperanto once again keeps it in front and keeps the runner at bay. 1-1 to Garrett. Oh, you got it, bud. No problem. The pitch. High. For a ball. 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike now to the power hitting first baseman, who has his power hitting third baseman on first. And this one is lined down the right field line. That's a fair ball. That drops into the corner, and Bragg, he's going to hold Bragg. Oh, he said it's foul. Okay, so Bragg will circle all the way back around, and I tell you, that looked fair. Poor Brandon Bragg. Let's hope he's in good shape. And that's exactly where you want to be. 2 balls now and 2 strikes to Garrett Smith. And Bragg was on the move there. Pitch. High. Ball 3. Garrett Smith, for the second consecutive at-bat, has worked the count full. Last time he walked. Yes, he is, Mandy. That is for sure. Swung on and missed. It gets away, and Bragg will take first base, and that's unfortunate because Esperanto just got by, and that's a swinging strikeout. But now to have to be a 4-out inning as Bragg takes second and Smith, or did he? All right, they must have thrown him out. I missed it. I looked down. I guess Esperanto threw him out. So he gets the strikeout. And that'll bring up to Elvis Tejada. But
Bragg is down at second. Yeah, man, he is definitely working on player of the game. He won it earlier this year. He hit a 3-run home run in a game that we had done. He absolutely crushed one. Joe Elvis moves the back foot and tried to sell the strike as a ball. The home plate umpire wasn't buying. Great game being called by the home plate umpire tonight. Consistent. And that's all you can ask for. Well, you can ask for balls and strikes. And there's strike two. You can ask for them calls, those consistent calls, to be consistent balls and strikes, and they are. And it's just a great game that they're calling. And that's part of the reason why we're moving so fast. Umpires are responsible for the ebb and flow of a baseball game. And this crew is doing a great job of it. McKella. And there's a liner down the first base line. Foul. And former pro ball player Ryan Houston, who's the pitching coach now, reaches out. Oh, 0 and 2. 0-1 count. Should be two strikes, right? I just complimented him. There he goes. Now he's right. 0 and 2. How did Bragg get the third? I completely missed that. Here's the pitch inside. I don't know how I missed Bragg get the third. I guess he snuck down there. I didn't see him. Pitch. Fouled back and out of play. And the count is now a ball. That's going to bother me. I'm going to have to find out between innings how he got down to third base. If anybody saw him get the third, let me know. Pitch. And there's a little shot back to the pitcher over to first. And that'll be the third and final out. So the Commodores threaten, but they don't score. They leave run one on one hit, no errors. We head to the top of the fourth, 3-0 Eau Gallie. So got to figure out how he got over there. That's bugging me already. Hey, how did how did Brandon get to third base? Oh, is that what it was? All right, yeah, he balked. Okay, I missed the balk call. I missed the balk call. Yep, there's an answer for everything, and there it is. My apologies. I got the camera doing the score tonight, so keeps you on your toes. When you're doing everything by yourself, it keeps everything moving, and the game moves along quite nicely. So we got some great stuff coming up this week. Tonight, again, it's the Romeo Crouch interview. Romeo Crouch, who had a fantastic college basketball career, one of the best basketball players in the last 20 years to step on a court here in Brevard County. Going to enter the NBA draft, recently signed with an agent out of Italy. And if he doesn't get drafted, because the NBA draft is tough, if he doesn't get drafted, he'll play overseas. He's got a pro career ahead of him. That is for sure. All right. This is going to be Alexander Westfield for Coach Tom Dooley and the Hustlers. Westfield, his first time up. Flew out to the right fielder. That'll be a strike from Buxton. I'm looking. I don't see a hit yet for MCC. An error. That's it. So far, Buxton, no hits. That'll be drop a little soon. And the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, no. I know that hurt. He is tough as nails. That ball hit him in the neck, collarbone area, that foul ball. He went down like a rock in the water, and there he is back up talking to his pitcher. Tough, tough. We'll get ready to move the camera and all that. And he is right back up. I mean, that stings. He'll feel that tomorrow. Riley Jackson. That's what you're getting, Seminoles. His dad, Bobby Jackson. Although he'll never admit this, Bobby's a great baseball mind. He's got his older brother Trey, who's down at Eastern Florida State closing. Jackson family knows a thing. Mom too, Donna Jackson. Jackson family knows a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to baseball. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Westfield. Low and outside, and Buxton for the first time today has gone to a full count, and it's 3-2. The on-deck hitter is Esperanto, the catcher. Buxton eyes the signal from Jackson, comes to the hip. The full count. Fouled back and out of play. Count remains full. Buxton. There's a chopper, a high chopper to Bragg. Fields it up and over. Oh, said the foot came off the bag. Ooh, can't see from here, but that's a tough call there. An infield hit. Bobby Collins wants to know how his foot left the bag. He planted his foot. How can it leave the bag? I don't know. I can't see that far. So he's going to ask for help and ask if he had his foot on the bag. He's saying, I had the angle. But he was standing out. I mean, the throw beat him there, and they're still going to say he's safe. So I guess, umpire crew's done well today. So you give him the benefit of the doubt, and his foot was off the bag. So, and that'll be an infield hit, and maybe that's the break that Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers need. Like, welcome in David Lowe. Coach Lowe, how are you? That's it, they have done outstanding here today, this crew. And he says his foot was off the bag. He was closer than we were. So, runner at first on the infield single. Mandy says horrible. I don't know. I mean, you never know. That foot could have been just in front of the bag. Esperanto looks at strike 1, 0-1. I hear you, Mandy. 0-1. And Jackson right down to first base with it. That right side of his body feels good now. That's a great play by Bragg, though, to get that ball out of the glove, because that was a Baltimore chopper down to third. 1-1 now to Esperanto. Esperanto reached on an error his first time up. Runner at first, nobody out here. And low and outside in Buxton right now. Having a hard time. He's getting up there in the count here this inning. After 8-pitch third inning. He has thrown 11 here in the fourth with nobody out. Goodness gracious. He drilled that one over to first. Coach Collins tells him to reset the mind right here. Get it right. 1 pitch, 1 batter. I like that philosophy. Esperanto, the 2-1 from Bragg. And that ball is lined to Tejada. Back over to first. And back in time. Nice pitch. Nice hit. Nice play. One out. On a dart to Tejada. He hit it to Tejada last time, and Tejada booted it. And that time he squeezes it for the first out. And that'll bring up Clausen. Last time up, Clausen flied out to Hunter Leach. Buxton. Strike one. Consistent zone. Love it. 0-1. One out here. Oh! Drew lost that one. And that's an HBP on Clausen. As Clausen will take first on the hit batter. And that'll bring up Vincent Varvaro. I know that hurt. That caught him at the top of the shoe there. Just the thought of that ankle bone area, the elbow area, where Riley got hit. Poor guys. You said baseball's not a contact sport, right? Tell that little white ball that. So, I wonder if we'll get in trouble for that music in the background. You never know. Somebody in the world's got a claim on it, I'm sure. All right. Runners at first and second here, and the wind is blowing out. Left to right, right to left, I should say. And one swing of the bat can change it. The question is does MCC have the power to get that done? Buxton. Varvaro. First and second, takes a peek back at second. Here's the pitch. Belt high fastball, good for strike one. 0-1. Varvaro last time up, grounded out to Garrett Smith, who dove back to the bag for the out. Infield, or at least Bragg is in. Here's the pitch, high. That one a little higher than the last, so that'll be a ball. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out here. The top of the 4th inning. A 3-0 game in favor of the Commodores. Nice looking off-speed pitch. Drops in for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now from Drew Buxton to Vincent Varvaro, the senior outfielder. Can he get him here and get the second out of the inning? 2 on, 1 out. Pitch. Outside corner. That's a good pitch, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes now from Drew. It's chilly out. Buxton comes to a set. He fires, and there's a grounder to Bragg. Bragg with a play. They got a pickle here. They got the lead runner. They're just going to turn and throw to Tejada. And that's a great, and Brandon Bragg, Mandy, you're right, making a play for player of the game tonight. 2 for 2 and just flashing leather at the hot corner. As Westfield will go out unassisted to Bragg, and that'll bring up Nicholas Telez. Last time up, Telez with a grounder to guess who? Brandon Bragg. And there's another one to Brandon, and that one hits him on the shin. That's a tough ball there. He said, that's my nephew. All right, Mandy, you make the call. What was that? I got to give him an error on that one. Mandy's going to argue with me. I know it. All right, so first and second. Nice try, though, by Brandon. That ball was drilled. But I've seen him catch tougher. Buxton. And there's a grounder to Grusner. Up and over to first. No harm, no foul. Two left. No, one hit, one error, two left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is 3-0 Eau Gallie. All right. Do-do-do-do. As on the pitch, the bottom of the fourth stays McKella. So McKella stays on. And I'll tell you, it is chilly out here tonight. Breezy, chilly. Feels good. There's a look at McKella. McKella has pitched well tonight. I mean, he's not got himself. I mean, he had an inning where they sent 8 batters to the plate, but that inning was accompanied with a fielder's choice, an error. Only had 2 hits in the inning, so one was a double, but that was the leadoff double. So, all right, Christian Neal steps in. Neal with a single his last time up, and he got it going a little bit in that inning, kept that inning alive, and picked up an RBI in the process. McKella, and it'll be 1-1. So after taking a good pitch, swings at a bad one. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Nice bunt down the first base line. Trouble. Flip. Nope, he's safe. And Neal is 2 for 2 with a bunt single there to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. Nice job there. So a bunt single brings up Snowden, the sophomore, who struck out his first time up, as Diamez Ross is on deck. So Snowden getting that experience under his belt from the 8-hole. Leach is on deck. The pitch inside for a ball. Keep your eye on Neal. He'll take a base. This year he's got 7 swipes of bases. And McKella goes back over. That's not the lefty move, I'm sure. That intimidates the runners. They have several, especially left-handers. McKella, a 1-0 here to Snowden. Neal not with a big lead, normal lead. Pitch, that'll be a strike, and it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Leach, then Ross coming up. Lefty-righty matchup. And that one fouls off the inside part of his foot.
For strike two, a ball and two strikes
To Snowden.
And if you're the sophomore, you really got to relax here. And I know it's much easier said than done, but as a sophomore on the varsity team, now you're in your head a little bit here. You struck out your first time up, and you don't want to do that again. And so I'm pulling for the young man. And that one, Esperanto from his legs. And guess who swipes the bag? Christian Neal with his 8th stolen base of the year. And the Commodores have a runner in scoring position. That pitch was a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one stolen on the pitcher. And Neal, if McKellar doesn't pay any attention, might take third. Pitch. And there's a grounder to the third baseman. Checks the runner over to first. 1 out. Nice play by Simcox. And that'll bring up Leach. Actually, I apologize. Snowden reached on an error his last time up. Leach struck out. So that's my apologies to Snowden. Looked at the scorebook wrong. One out, runner at second. Pitch, and there's a grounder down to first. That'll advance the runner. He dropped the ball, but the pitcher is there to cover as Neal advances to third. So that'll be a 3-1 on Leach as Diamez Ross steps in. And MCC better be careful here, because if they throw him anything close, it's a 4-0 game here. Because Diamez Ross, again, he struck out 3 pitches his first time up. And the last time he got up, he hit a single off the first pitch, which is more like the Diamez Ross we're used to. He's 1 for 2 in this one with another RBI opportunity for him at third base in Christian Neal. So we'll see what McKellar does here with Ross. There you see Neal taking a run down the line. The pitch, and he does indeed go after it, and it's skied into left field, and that'll do it. That'll be the third and final out here, the bottom of the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the top of the 5th inning, and the score remains 3-0. Eau Gallie on top. So, hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. We got, let's see what was going on last week. We had Cape Coast Conference track and field going on, and my goodness, how about the Rockledge Raiders and what they did? The Rockledge Raiders girls captured their 11th straight Cape Coast Conference championship. Just an unbelievable effort by them, and the boys captured a title as they came back to beat Cocoa. How about the job by Rios Prue Jr.? Rios captured the Sprint Triple Crown. He won the 100, the 400, the 100, the 200, and the 400 in that last week. Mandy Underwood wins the 400 and the 800, and of course the Raider girls, they just win everything. 11 straight years as Cape Coast Conference champions. I mean, goodness. And speaking of Cape Coast Conference championships, coming up Thursday night, both Melbourne teams on the softball and baseball side will be playing for one, as Pete Donovan's baseball team will be going up against Merritt Island, and the girls will be playing Rockledge. And you'll just happen to see both of those right here on Brevard Sports Network. Stepping in now is going to be Esposito, Joshua Whistler Esposito. His last time up, he grounded out to Kyle Grusner. So it'll be Esposito, Hester, and back to the top of the order with Patrick Corley. Tom Dooley with 4.4 speed. Pitch. That's a Riley Jackson strike right there. He brought that one up. And that'll be 1-1 to Weisler Esposito. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Buxton pitching another gem here. Faced 6 batters last inning after having gone 1, 2, 3 in each of the previous 2. Strike 3 called. And you could see the knees buckle as soon as the ball came out. And that'll bring up Austin Hester. So that is the second strikeout for Drew Buxton. Austin Hester steps in. Hester grounded out to Joel Tejada his last time up. Commodores on top. 3-0 here. Buxton. Pitch. Strike one. So Buxton, a couple times I've seen him pitch, really is one of those type of student athletes, high school pitchers that get stronger as the game progresses. And I think you're seeing that right here. And Jackson couldn't frame that one up in time. And the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 3-0. Commodores on top. Strike 2. That's a Butte Clark. And Buxton is ahead of Hester in activity, stirring out to the Melbourne Central Catholic bullpen. The 1-2. Let's see if Buxton can pick up his second strikeout in a row here. And that ball is lifted into right field and foul. So Hester battling at 1 and 2. And that's a shot up the middle, but Tejada is there, and he commits his second error of the game. So Hester will reach on an E6. Tried to go to the glove before he had the ball there, and that's a no-no. Same thing as catching a football before you turn upfield, or catch. You gotta watch the ball in, and that'll bring up Patrick Corley. Corley both times has grounded out to Kyle Grusner. And this time, this is Tejada with redemption. Flips to Grusner for 1. Over to first. How about the turn on the 6-4-3 double play? And Joelvis Tejada gets himself out of that one. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0, Eau Gallie. So if you're scoring at home, Hester goes 6-4. Corley goes 6-4-3. Textbook double play. Great flip, great turn by Grusner, and a nice play by Garrett Smith at first. And that's how you do it and get out of the inning. As returning is McKella here in the bottom of the 5th. As we are moving right along here, so we'll see if Eau Gallie can put any more runs on the board here with Grusner, Jackson, and Bragg due up. Grusner getting his practice cuts in on the on-deck circle. Stay tuned. Coming up later tonight here on Brevard Sports Network, I go one-on-one with Romeo Crouch, former Titusville Terrier and Embry-Riddle great, who is going to be entering the NBA draft. Grusner has grounded out to the second baseman and the third baseman in each of his first two times up. Riley Jackson is the on-deck hitter, followed by Mr. 2 for 2, Brandon Bragg tonight. And that'll be strike one to Kyle. Low and outside for a ball, 1-1. Brewster takes for ball two, 2-1. And quickly, Grusner's way ahead here, 3-1. And Grusner draws a 5-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the fifth inning. And Riley Jackson steps in. So, coach says, let's go, Riley. You got this, man. You got this. First pitch offering to Jackson is high and inside for a ball. For Grusner, that was his 11th walk of the year. 11 walks. Jackson 1-0. Grusner with a nice lead at first. And McKellar checks him back. Jackson tonight grounded out to the second baseman and lined out to the shortstop. And this one is hit straight up. And trailing out for it is the second baseman, and he'll pull it in for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. That's a nice play. That's a tougher play than it looks by Westfield because that wind is really blowing here tonight. All right, let's see what Brandon Bragg could do. Bragg is 2 for 2 with a double and a single and a run scored here tonight. Couple good plays over at third as well. You there, Mandy? McKellar back over to first base with Grusner. Garrett Smith is on deck. That wind is even blowing the top of that camera like that. Goodness gracious. Zoom in just a little bit here. Pitch. Nice job, but Grusner's going to be able to get to second base on the wild pitch. But that's a good job by Esperanto to keep it in front of it because that's not exactly short back there to that backstop. So Grusner's got a little speed. He maybe could have taken third, who knows, but he is definitely down at second. His coach, Tom Dooley, comes out and wants to talk to his guys. Coach knows and feels that fourth run is a pivotal run as the wind picks up. Here at Commodore Field. And they're just going to put Brandon Bragg on, and I tell you what, not a bad idea with the way he's swinging the bat. So Bragg takes the intentional walk. Sign of respect. Especially with Grusner down at second now. And that'll bring up Garrett Smith. Smith walked and struck out. Low and outside for a ball. 1-0. So McKellar not as crisp as he was in the inning before.
that one in the dirt as well.
She said they're scared. Everybody's scared of him. Seriously.
You've seen some of the bombs he's hit this year. Goodness gracious. Young man can put a little pop into that thing. That bag's open. I'm walking him too. Back to second, and Grusner is back in time. A couple of seniors on here on senior night with a senior
At the plate.
McKellar 2-0 to Smith. I got a feeling this could do it for McKellar if he puts Smith on. And Garrett Smith turns on one, but it's foul. So he's all over that.
Joelvis Tejada, the on-deck hitter.
Now the wind is just blowing crazy in and out, in and out, in and out. McKellar to the belt. Rocks and fires. High and inside, nearly hitting. And it's 31, 3-1 to Garrett. So MCC's one pitch away from having the bases loaded with Joelvis Tejada up next. McKellar comes to the belt. He delivers. Oh, what a pitch on 3-1. He took a little off of it. Actually, he took a lot off of it. And it's 3-2 now. Count goes full to Garrett. I'd come right back with that. Garrett struck out on that pitch the last time, and he doesn't seem to have a beat on it right now. Let's see what McKellar does here. McKellar turns and looks back. They wanted the balk, had one called on him earlier, won't get it there. You do not have to throw to second. The only bag you have to throw to once you commit is first. The pitch from McKellar. He does it again. Great play. Throw down to third. Won't get Grusner. But how about the job by McKellar to come all the way back to get Smith down 3-1 and comes back with a couple of breaking balls to get him. Great job. And Joelvis Tejada takes the plate. And they may even put Joe Elvis on with first base open to get a force at any base. Might not be a bad idea. And they're going to let him hit. Second and third.
The pitch low for a ball. Bragg at second. Grusner at third. Tejada at the plate. Tejada in this one, a fielder's choice, and he grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. And he fouls this one back to the screen, and it's 1-1. McKellar, you got to give him credit. Struggled to start the inning, but those two breaking pitches to Garrett Smith. Oh, that's nice looking. I don't know what he called. Strike two. Looked like a strike anyway. So 1-2 now to Joe Elvis. What will McKellar throw here? Took a little bit off in the count. He's now even. And for the first time in the game, we'll be looking for a turn card here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 on. Deuces are wild. What will the turn card be? From McKellar to Tejada. The pitch. High. Ball 3. So instead of another 2, it's a 3. And the count is now full with runners at second and third. 3-0, Eau Gallie on top. The pitch. That's a Butte Clark. And McKellar goes back to the breaking ball and gets Tejada on the backwards K. And the Commodores strand 2. We head to top of the 6th. 3-0, Eau Gallie.
I'm hoping that sun stays up because it is chilly. What's it? Did you say the wall? Yeah, I forgot a sweatshirt. Normally I bring one. I forgot it tonight. As Buxton comes on, of course, why wouldn't he? He's pitched an outstanding game. Love it when the guys run through the camera. Get him on. Top of the sixth. Coming up. MCC down to their final 6 outs. And really, Buxton has been on top tonight. That's for sure. Really one inning where you could say he struggled, but not really. As it'll be Westfield, Esperanto, and Clausen. He had 3 up, 3 down 3 times in the game and would have had it in the first inning had it not been for an error. And then faced 6 batters in the fourth inning, and that's it. Oh, you're very welcome, Mr. Jeff. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate the comment. All right. Buxton. To Westfield, number 99. That one right down Commodore Boulevard for strike one. 0-1. Here. Buxton kicks and fires. That'll bounce in the dirt, scooped up by Jackson, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. In his groove a little earlier in this game, Buxton actually had an 8-pitch inning. From the belt, kicks, fires. Oh, he hung a nice one in there for strike 2, and it's 1-2 to Westfield, who flied out to the right fielder and reached on a questionable call the last time up for what is the only hit of the game for MCC. High for a ball, and it's 22. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that ball is fouled off and out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here. Commodores on top, 3-0, top of the 6th inning. And Westfield steps out. Esperanto on deck. Low, and he's lost him. 3-2. Not lost him yet, but he's fallen behind, I should say. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Westfield. The pitch, and there's a grounder to. Oh, he scooped and ate it up. Bragg with a great play. How about that scoop? You might say, calm down, Alan. It's a ground ball. Nah, you had to see it, man. I mean, I know you did, but I mean, that ball took a little nasty hot. I'll tell you what the difference was. He booted that last inning. He got it that inning. How about that, huh? Look at that. A couple helicopters. I don't know what those are doing. A lot of military, a lot of helicopters flying over here right now. And this ball is lifted into center field, easily playable for Diamez Ross, and that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Clausen.
Klassen flied out the Neal.
and was hit by a pitch his last time up. Strike one
From Buxton.
The 0-1. Curveball just misses. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top 6. Eau Gallie looking for win number 14 out of 19 tries this year. And that gets away from Riley Jackson, who says, "Can I have another ump?" Home plate umpire obliges. 2-1, 2 outs.
Due up for Eau Gallie is Neil Snowden and Leach.
7-8-9. Pitch. And that's high for a ball. 2-3-1 now. Let's see if he can battle back. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. Buxton eyes the signal from Jackson to pitch, and that ball is fouled out of play, and the count is now full.
With 2 outs here.
We've managed not to get cut off by RCA, UCA, MCA, ACA, and all of them tonight, so
Got to be doing something, right?
probably has something to do with the fact I won't shut up for a minute.
But last time I did that, we had to do 4 different streams. Strike 3. And Buxton battles back to strikeout Klassen. And that will do it for the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-0 Eau Gallie.
All right, as now they get into a little Sweet Caroline, the old Boston Red Sox tradition. I guess that's where it started. I don't know.
I know growing up in Baltimore,
Our tradition was, thank God I'm a country boy.
in the 7th inning, that was our 7th inning stretch song. And growing up in the 1979
World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, I was actually blessed to go to all 4 home games as a 10-year-old kid.
and they actually brought in for game 1 John Denver to sing the song on the dugout.
During the 7th inning stretch, and then in 1983, I don't think he came then, but when the Orioles actually won the World Series. But great baseball traditions like that. I hope you relive your childhood. And something as funny as this song can do that for you. Baseball is that type of a sport. There is no doubt. Of course, if you know my Orioles today compared to my Orioles then, it's like an asteroid hit the Earth sometime in the late 1990s.
It's 2 different franchises.
It's just, they're terrible. Absolutely horrific. Oh, my goodness.
And we got a new pitcher for for the Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers. It's going to be Colin Anderson who comes on to finish up here in this one. And we'll get you Anderson's stats here, at least what we have through when we have it on Max Preps. But as Christian Neal steps in, but Colin Anderson making, according to the sheet, his 2nd appearance of the year, and I don't think that's accurate. But
anyway, Colin Anderson pitching here. And no, it's the bottom of the 6th inning. Ignore the comment. Swing and a miss. 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Colin Neal. Colin Anderson facing Christian Neal. And it's 2-1. That's a strike at the knees. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes
That is high for a ball, and the count is full. Neal today is 2 for 2. Base hit with an RBI and a bunt single his last time up. 3-2 from Anderson to Neal. The pitch, and there's a grounder to the second baseman. Westfield up and over to first, and one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And that'll bring up Daniel Snowden. Snowden steps in. Snowden reached on an error and grounded out to the third baseman his last time up. Pitch, and this one is soft liner, fielded by the shortstop over to first, throws it away, and Snowden will stop, and that'll be a throwing error because he had him. And that'll be an E6, and so Snowden has been on first courtesy of 2 errors by the shortstop tonight. And we'll get a pinch runner. It'll be Parker Havel on senior night. Senior Parker Havel. As Elijah Circus steps in, and he'll hit for Hunter Leach. As Circus is Elijah Circus, a 300 hitter. This is his 21st official at-bat this year. Parker Havel. Nice lead over at first. Almost out of the camera. And down to first goes Esper Sorrento. He saw it too. Nice job by the catcher to nearly get Parker Havel. Havel now out of the screen. Let's bring him back in. There we go. Pitch off speed, low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. And Circus fouls this back to the screen. And Colin Anderson, who has come on in relief, has Circus 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. And Circus stays alive. The on-deck hitter is Diamez Ross. Ross, an uncharacteristic 1 for 3 tonight. See Bobby Collins there. And off and running, and that ball to the third baseman. He boots it. That'll be an E5, and both runners will be safe. And the Commodores are in business with the top of the order coming up, looking to add some insurance here as Diamez Ross steps in. And that is the 1-2. Third error of the game for MCC. And you better believe Tom Doley will be hitting some ground balls at practice tomorrow. And Ross, as I said, steps in 1 for 3, singled back in the second, struck out in the first, and flied out to the left fielder his last time up. See what this first pitch is, because if he likes it, he'll be swinging. He doesn't. Esper Sorrento gets his body in front, and it's 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 3-0. MCC still very much in this game. Righty-lefty matchup, and Ross with a shot to the second baseman, flips to the shortstop for 1, over to first. Picture-perfect double play to end the inning. 4-6-3. We go to the top of the 7th. The Hustlers down to their final 3 here on the Brevard Sports Network. What a great play, though, as Westfield fielded that one. He flipped it over to the shortstop Corley, and Corley fired it over to first base to Esposito. 4-6-3. And the second double play of the game
by both teams, and both of them turned it pretty well there as Buxton comes on for the final inning here. We'll zoom in on Drew, who has had a great night tonight by my scorebook account here. And again, this is just by my scorebook as we have Varvero, Telez, and Simcox due up. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. He's faced 22 batters so far. And he, too, is a candidate for player of the game. But we'll talk to Coach. I mean, you look at the job he's done tonight. He's got 2 strikeouts. He's only allowed 1 hit tonight. And that hit, a questionable call at first base. Otherwise, he's working on a no-hitter. Couple of errors in the game as Varvero steps in. Varvero is 0 for 2, or I should say he is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Buxton to Varvero, everybody up in the MCC dugout. Buxton overthrows that one, and it's 1-0. Now it's the top of the 7th. And there's a strike from Drew. So whoever's putting those comments up for me, you can go ahead and put that up as well. 1-1. And fouled straight back, and Buxton is ahead. 1-2. And I tell you what, Drew has given this team 2 badly needed 7-inning performances. It's not over yet, but it looks promising here for Coach Bobby Collins and the Eau Gallie Commodores. Buxton 1-2 to Varvero. He took it off. He got him. Strike 3, and that's 1 out. 3rd strikeout of the night for Drew. And that'll bring up Telez. One out. Hustlers down to their final 2 outs. Pitch. That hits the corner. Strike 1. 0-1. 1 out here. That one didn't come off the way he wanted, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. I don't know if we're going to be. I may have to make a change for Thursday night, so stay tuned on that. And that one is fouled off of Riley Jackson, and it's 1-2. I might take a poll tomorrow and see which game you want to see more. Would it be the Melbourne baseball game or the Melbourne softball game Thursday night? Maybe a little overcommitted. So just stay tuned to Brevard Sports Network for that. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Buxton to Nicholas Telez here. Ooh! Hoo-hoo. Two and 2. That was close. It missed. I don't know where. All I know is that it missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and fouled back to the screen. Home plate umpires had a great night, though, so you can't get on him at all. He's entitled. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Drew steps off. Telez steps out.
2-2. Strike three. 2 outs. Boy, I tell you, we were talking about Buxton getting stronger as the game went on earlier. Well, there's proof of it right there. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, he had 2 strikeouts coming in, or 3 strikeouts coming in or 2 coming into the 7th inning. He's got 2 here in the 7th, the total 4. As Simcox steps in, he is the final hope for the Hustlers. And Buxton will not. Drew is he's firing BBs right now. 0-1.
The 0-1, that one.
He BB'd that one to the backstop. 1-1. Oh no. So Drew has did something there. Don't know what he did, but I'll keep you posted. Again, it's our policy here on Brevard Sports. We don't show injuries. I'm not a doctor. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night. 1-1, 2 outs. And Drew is coming off, and the shoulder is hanging low. So it's obviously a shoulder injury. So he felt it, and he goes straight to the clubhouse. And my heart just breaks for Drew Buxton. Just breaks for Drew. Breaks for this Commodore team. I tell you what, it is that is not a good situation. Not a good situation right there. Maybe it's just a strain or something. Who knows? But generally, when you get a reaction like that, it's a pop. I don't know if he heard a pop. And again, it's not up to me to tell you that. You'll have to check with the team. I don't give injury updates or reports, but I just hope that whatever happened to Drew, they can fix fast, and Drew can get right back out there. But he had a heck of a game here tonight. I mean, here through he faced, coming into this inning, he only faced 3 batters over the minimum coming into this inning. And my heart just breaks for him. It really does. As guess who is going to be on the bump now? It's going to be Brandon Bragg, and why not? He's done everything else tonight. Double, single, some big plays down here at third base. So he comes on to close it out. See if he can get the save. And he's got 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs now. You just simply hate to see that. And if it's one thing his team had needed was pitching, and Buxton had delivered it for him. Starting with that Rockledge game a couple Fridays ago, Buxton pitched a gem in that one. So we'll see. You just hate to see it. This guy can throw it too. So here's the situation. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Eau Gallie, 3-0. As Brandon Bragg takes the hill. One ball, 1 strike. Brandon Bragg's on the hill. He's ready to go. And we're back to play here. Here's the pitch. Bounces in the dirt. And Riley Jackson scoops that out. And the good news is that Drew is actually throwing behind me. Not hard, but he's throwing. Might have felt a twinge, but he's throwing. That's good news. Here's the pitch. And that's a chopper foul. And coming on to play third base is Lynch, Colton Lynch. Because Bragg had to move from third to the mound. Caden Simcox just off the outside corner. 2 balls, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Drew threw a couple balls behind. At least he's moving that arm over that shoulder. That's important to pitch. And that ball is swung on and missed. Jackson, can he get him? No. So that will be a strikeout, and the Commodores will have to get a 4th out to end the game. And Eau Gallie lives for or MCC lives for another batter here. As Esposito, actually Christian Maynard's going to come in and bat. Low and inside for a ball, 1-0. Look, you see crazy things happen. I mean, that's Bill Buckner. There's a strike from Bragg. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Sometimes it takes just the craziest little thing to turn a game. And 3 runs is not a lot. But that's strike 2. When you're throwing BBs like that, it is 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bragg looking to finish it off here tonight. And the Commodores looking for their 14th win in 19 tries. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bragg gets the signal from Jackson. He eyes it. Rocks, fires, strike 3, and the Commodores close it out. That is actually the 4th strikeout of the night, of the inning, actually. 4 strikeouts in the bottom or the top of the 7th inning. Close it out. That's 6 for the game. Our Connect Sports Consulting, or I should say our Connect Sports Funding and Dinger's Training Center player of the game. We're going to give it to Brandon Bragg, and we're going to give it to Drew Buxton tonight. So we'll get those guys interviewed as the 2 teams shake hands here tonight. We'd like to thank Todd O's and Bobby Collins. The MCC Hustlers dropped to 16-2-1, and the Eau Gallie Commodores moved to 14-5. Stay tuned. Coming up here on Brevard Sports Network in about an hour will be our one-on-one with NBA draft prospect Romeo Crouch. So that'll do it. Your final score from Eau Gallie, the Commodores 3, the Hustlers 0. Thank you, Mandy. Have a great night, everybody.